Thank you, Honorable Speaker, House Chair, Mr. President, honorable members. Having listened to the debates today leaves me with a lot of questions. It has become apparent that we need a strong man to drive the South African ship. We have also listened to the flip-flopping DA begging for blue lights. The questions that we have today, Mr. President, are very profound. We have listened to your cabinet ministers who clearly have been through the Rupert conveyor belt of changed men. What we are asking is, what are we going to do with such poor material after the GNU ship has sunk? They are not fit for purpose. They have no political education, and they are not fit to govern. This whole administration brings to mind the words of the Iron Lady, Her Excellency Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, when she observed of the government of her day in 1985, and it's befitting today, sir. There are many idiots in whose hands our nation's fate and progress has been placed, and I rest my case. Since the start of your presidency, the cheap talks on fighting corruption, ethical, capable leadership, sir, we are exhausted. Our spirits are deflated. We've lost trust in you. Speaker, the integrity of this president is in question. Let's start with today. President says there's a national dialogue which is accepted by all partners. The next breath, the chief whip comes and says Steenhuisen is against it. President gives us some intertwined GNU trees in Limpopo and Eastern Cape. In the next breath, the chief whip says the descendants of white supremacy. Which script are you reading from? Which script should South Africa read from? In January 2018 in Nongoma, sir, you viewed land expropriation without compensation as a critical legislative mechanism. And I quote, you said we can make this country a Garden of Eden, close quote. Instead, you turned this government ship into a GNU Noah's Ark with all sorts of animals that are welcome. Close. In all honesty, Speaker, as we sit here today, we don't even know anymore what's on the table of the GNU. Are we moving forward as a country or sliding backward? It's a crisis. Political crisis, criminality, corruption has characterized this presidency. The lingering question in our minds is that, sir, knowing that you did not have the burden of breaking ground or shedding blood in establishing the ANC, or even the wisdom of transitioning it into the new South Africa, you were simply called upon to steward a ship already on course to change the lives of our people. Sir, you had it all to cruise into the new dawn. You were the person clothed with such an important task. Did you discharge this trust truthfully, with all good intentions? Have you contributed towards the functioning and betterment of our country and your organization, given the many honors that it has conferred on you as a billionaire and a president today? As a nation. Ondlofu said it well. Look at that Napoleon complex over there. He's trying very hard to compensate, but his party leader is towering tall miles ahead of their chief whip in the blue there. He thinks it's cute to come here every time airing dirty linen of the GNU, so obsessed with the MK party. But we understand why everybody's obsessed with President Zuma. He made all of you here. He gave all of you opportunities to be in government. Unfortunately, you became changed men. While others remain fully excited to be finally governing with white supremacy. Sir, the moral dilemma some of your people in your party, in your cabinet, in your caucus have, they find it impossible to do this GNU thing without being false to their own deep convictions and betraying those who put their trust in them. Sir, President Nelson Mandela said at the OAU summit in June 1994, there is something wrong in how we govern ourselves, and I quote, and it must be said that the fault is not in our stars that we are ill-governed. The fault is in ourselves, I close quote. It's you, sir, who make us as a people question ourselves whether we believe in our capacity for self-government. Clearly, you do not have a government capable of governing. You are merely nursing white fears of black domination, which is manifesting. It's manifesting itself at every decision corner in your bloated cabinet. And that is why I say, when EFF Plus comes here and talks about legacy, they should not be throwing stones. These are the descendants of hate and apartheid architects, white supremacy. And yes, it's not only MK votes that were stolen. 26 parties' votes were stolen. I was one of those parties. Our country, which once stood as a beacon of hope for the whole continent, a miracle in the global south, yet your reign, sir, has cast it into the shadows. Perhaps it's time to take a leaf from the MK. We change leaders. We change leaders. The reason you are sitting at 40% and sliding down rapidly as a party is because you still have your stinking dirty underwear. Change it. That's why people are running away from you, starting with the presidency. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy. It's a tragedy to have a stinking dirty underwear. You can't change it because you are waiting for a hijacked electoral conference like what happened with CR17. As we honor legacy of Nelson Mandela, and I hope someday soon, I'm gonna quote, we'll refrain to behave as though we do not believe that coexistence among African brethren is at all possible. And the African people can be organized by Africans for Africans, with everybody who owes his loyalty only to Africa and who is prepared to accept the democratic rule of an African majority. I close quote. You have betrayed that statement of Nelson Mandela. Honestly, House Chair, the prosperity of this nation is not something that we can base our hopes on for the future of our children. No nation can survive the tax burden criminality so high placed upon its people. The presidential vote should be about taking decisive action to protect the integrity of our nation, our heritage as a people, our justice system, and ensure accountability for those who have betrayed the public trust. As we speak here, House Chair, we are tempted to even ask, let one of your 3 ministers of police be the minister of police for women, to protect women, GBV, people with disabilities, the vulnerable, the elderly, because frankly, everything else is a joke. Sir, 11 million South Africans remain unemployed. Our youth are starving, they're on drugs. Teenage pregnancy is on a rampant just to obtain a grant. The wealth of this country is sitting in the hands of your GNU partners. You would expect that the highest office of this land, where you preside, you yourself having tasted wealth, will be laser focused on addressing this inequality and poverty crisis facing our people. Yet, you come here with your partners and you're defending the
Honorable Chief
Constitution.
Whip of the Opposition, your time has expired.
We reject this budget. Thank you.
I will now recognize Honorable Sangoni.